things to eat while you're fishing.
Those are the best things.
You ever done peanut butter ones?
That go hard.
No, peanut M&Ms are the best.
Those ones.
Yeah, those.
Look,
Peanut butter, no. Yeah, I mean, we were, but like,
all right, well, let's get it going.
Hey, DC, I come all the way to Canada. My boy DC give me one M&M.
One M&M, that's it.
That's it. That's all you get. You catch a 4-pounder, you get another.
You get an M&M, yeah.
Hey, I caught a 4-pounder. Can I get M&M?
Yeah, you get one.
Yeah. What's up, guys? Got my boy DC, my boy MDJ. We're here. It's the end of the year. You know what this is. There's sort of a time to talk to you guys, all of the fans, all the people that follow us day in and day out. We appreciate you following us on YouTube. And obviously these boys on their YouTube channels and on their Instagrams. But ultimately, we just wanted to talk a little bit about the whole year and what we've been through this year together. Also, some of the highs, some of the lows. Major League Fishing came on the scene hard last year. We all jumped in on the Bass Pro Tour. The year's over. And with Red Crest, congratulations to Edwin Evers on winning the first ever Red Crest.
Yeah, decent year.
Yeah, hey, Edwin called him a couple.
Congrats to you, Edwin.
Yeah, he didn't call
Killed
it.
He squared. Give me some pecans.
Give me some pecans,
Hook me
right?
up with some pecans.
Yeah.
I know you got them.
Some pralines.
Hey, after this year, he planted about 200 more pecans.
Although, while we joking, that hurricane, or not hurricane, excuse me, that
That
tornado
storm.
came through and messed up a lot of
Absolutely,
stuff.
it did. I did not even think about
But
it.
he made a post yesterday. He bounced back. They doing
He had a
good.
good
Yeah,
form.
they doing good.
Let's not take an L.
Hey, last night took an L.
But
Tonight I bounced back. Tonight I bounced back. That's it. Bounced back.
He bounced back.
Yeah, he did. He bounced back.
He did. Overall, I mean, like, going to the first tournament of the year, we could jump in to Toho. We're all a little bit, like, not sure what to think. I mean, what were your thoughts, like, first, like, before anything started in this whole thing? Like, before we even made our first cast, before practice started, like, what were you going through your two on?
I was worried, man.
Yeah.
I was worried because I had never competed in a Major League Fishing format, you know what I mean? And all I ever known was just 5 fish like all of us, right?
Yep.
You had prior experiences, so I was constantly asking Jay Wills a lot of questions because he had already been through kind of the formalities of the league. And I'm worried about the format. I was worried about, how many fish can I potentially catch in a day. So that changes the way you attack a body of water. Yeah. All that changes now. And so, there's a lot of things that you have to make decisions on the water to see you through that week. Some guys made good adjustments, some guys didn't. Fortunate for me, I was one of the guys, I adjusted, I ended up catching some fish and doing well in the tournament, but it was brand new, it was a new feel, it was something different, and ultimately, throughout the course of the year, it just took some time to get used to, man.
Well, I mean, we all got paid there. DC made the top 10.
Yeah, he did.
DC had a killer day, knockout round day.
Triple cross.
And we got to talk about that, DC. All right. We done talked about it a little bit, but so I'm going to tell you my side of the story because I'm sitting here, and this is like, you were pretty high up there. You were having a good day. You were middle of the pack, but DC was down there below me, and I wasn't having that great day in the knockout round. And if you guys have watched the knockout round throughout the whole year, that is the opportunity to qualify for the championship round. So it's 40 of us out there on the water competing, trying to make top 10. And so DC is probably like 27th. I'm in 25th. Mark's in the teens. I remember this. And all of a sudden, like, it gets down to like the last hour. All of a sudden, I hear ding, 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 ding. DC. What exactly went down on that killer last minute deal?
So let's rewind.
I want to hear this.
I want to rewind it.
I want to hear this.
Cookie boy over a little bit.
Get you a little shot.
DC been eating these dang M&M peanuts non-stop.
All right, here we go. Rewind 2 days prior. Rewind a season prior. Let's just rewind just reflect. The last season was a mediocre season for me. It's one of the tougher seasons I had. We went to a lot of fisheries that were different, and they just wasn't really what I like doing. So anyway, Florida is honestly a tough place to fish.
It is.
You see all these big giant fish, and you see all these 9 and 10 pounders, and look at these big ones. Half of them come out of Jurassic Park, but if you're Florida, you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, long story short, we get to Florida and it's super cold, and I didn't really know what to expect. So I go and I have a decent practice. I mean, I have a really good practice. I found this one place where I can pull up on demand. Boom, if I need a bite, I can pull up here and get a bite. And I said, okay, I'm gonna start there. I go run down to this place the first day of the tournament. Emotions high, nerves are high, man. I'm pumped up. This MLF. 3, 2, 1, lines in. I fished for an hour and a half without a bite on this place, and it was juicy.
And I remember that, like, in the morning,
said,
he
he
ain't catching nothing.
I ain't catching nothing.
Like,
So
I
go
just
an
remember
hour and a
hearing
half, I ain't
DC
catching
down
nothing.
there at the bottom of the dang barrel.
Nothing.
He was hurting, bro.
So I kept going. Well, after about 2 hours, I spun out. I just did. I spun out. I started running a lot of current scenes, and come to find out in the tournament, y'all were running some of the same stuff.
Yeah.
You know, and I spun out. So anyway, long story short, first day.
Which is easy to do.
I was in like 37th out of 40.
Yeah.
After day 1.
I said, look, man, this bad luck continues. Let's just keep continuing it. Well, anyway, Mark and them told me, they said, look, man, you ain't out of this deal. Just go out and catch you a bag tomorrow. Just go fish something new and start new. So that's what I did. Guess what? Dinged up a little bag. Came all the way back, made the cut. Made it in 18th place. All right, then, long story short, third day, last hour, we're all like mediocre, 25th.
This is where I was
26th,
right
27th. I pulled back up on that same spot, and it was sunny. I hollered over them with my Lawrences. They was dinged up. And I went, oh my gosh.
Hey, what was they, DC?
They was dinged up. Hey, look, they were everywhere on the down image. And not many people notice this in Florida, but they were in like, they were fairly deep. I fired out there, first cast, doink, 4-pounder. And no joking, in 30 minutes, I caught a 5-fish limit of 27 or 28 pounds. So for all the naysayers out there, MLF catches small fish, not that day.
Double cross.
Not that day.
27, 28 pounds.
Caught a 9-4, a couple 5-pounders, and like 10 4-pounders. I don't know what it was. I caught like 50 pounds or something in like 30 minutes. It was something crazy. But anyway, that really started the season off for me, and as well as y'all, as everybody.
Yeah, I mean, making the top 10, man, you made the first top 10 of the whole season, which was huge.
Honestly, the rest of the season was like this for all of us.
Yeah, we all made.
We all did
we had ups and downs in some events. You know, the next tournament we go to Conroe, which Conroe. There you go, Conroe.
Look, that was an anomaly.
It was
especially
crazy
for him.
No, I mean, I was really hard headed during that tournament.
Oh, yeah.
And you know, this is the thing. We all stay together, but we all can, during the Bachelor Tour events, we cannot talk. Once practice starts, we cannot talk to each other and talk about fishing and how we're catching them. So that's why a lot of times where Connell's doing something different, I'm doing something, we're all doing something completely different and have no idea what's going on. So that's something that can be tough. So go to Conroe. It's very, very rare for all three of us not to make the cut. You know, I mean, there's times where I'm not going to make the cut and these two will because they figured something out. But all three of us had a tough event in that event. And, you know, I think that was for me. I was definitely, for me, I was hard-headed. I wanted to throw a buzzbait. You guys know I love throwing a topwater. That is my weakness. Yeah. That's my Achilles heel. They won't bite my topwater, but if they give me a couple bites and they're big ones, I'm going to throw him. And I locked in my hand and it was a bad deal. So talking, you know, just a little bit. I know you hooked a big one and you lost a dang dodo. I heard about that.
So, you know what I love about filming and having a GoPro on my boat? And by the way, next season, I will not launch the boat without film because there's so much stuff that happens on the water. And you hear all these stories about people in local tournaments. Oh, I caught I lost a 5-pounder at the boat and blah, 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 blah. And like, I don't even, nowadays, fishermen, boy, you know they a liar.
You already know.
So then,
embellishing the truth a little bit.
If I'd have caught this big one, I would have won, but you didn't.
But you did not.
So what we talking
So anyway,
about?
long story short, I had a decent practice. Come to find out, I started in the area. I was the first boat in the area where like 3 of the top 10 started in. But it was a timing deal for me. It was cold during practice. It started gradually warming.
It was a pre-spawn tournament.
It was a pre-spawn tournament. You know,
moving
like
up to spawn.
We're pumped up, ready to fish. I had a decent practice, but it's just a timing deal. I started in an area where 3 of the top 10 was at, and there was a 9-pounder and a couple 6s caught in there.
Big ones got caught in there.
But when I say it was like a light switch, I left when the switch turned on.
Yeah.
At 9 o'clock, I left because I was getting down.
That sun got up.
Getting down.
They started getting cozy.
And they started sliding up on top of that flat.
Yeah, boy.
And if you've seen Andy Montgomery catch that almost 10-pounder,
With
that
no
was that
seconds
area.
left.
We talked about this. That was in that area that you literally were fishing.
I was the first boat in there.
You were fishing.
I fished in there too.
Yeah, I didn't fish.
Did you ever go in
I
there?
never went in there.
Oh,
I was
I went
fishing
in
up the
there.
river.
Yeah.
But that was something that was crazy. Like, you know, and that's how fishing is, like, especially in the springtime.
Yeah.
It's time because everything, they're trying to move shallow, they're trying to move up there to spawn. And then, like, if you're not there at the exact time, you might fish through a great area and it might be a cold day and they're not up there on those flats and they might have dropped into a ditch, and then the next day of the tournament it's really warm and they crush them.
Think about it. You can just miss timing in general, just fishing. But when you have timing in general and a score tracker dinging off, and you got to make decisions, what are you
really
going to do?
accelerates
Are you going to wait
your
on the
decision
bite,
making.
or what you going to do?
Oh yeah.
It accelerates your decision.
That's what make this game so tough.
Like on your deal though, Conroe, how were you catching them? I mean, y'all know what I was doing.
Conroe, it's just a very tough fishery. I think that time of year that we showed up, then we had cold front conditions. That always makes it that much tougher. You know, I figured that I could catch them on a trap. I was fishing a stump field, a stump flat, quarter-ounce rattle trap, taking a back hook off.
Sneaky suckers.
Yeah, I love doing this. A lot of people don't do that. But anyways, I'm knocking
can you
these
put a big
stumps.
hook on him?
I upsize the hook. So what I do is I take on a quarter ounce. They come standard with 6s, right? I take both the 6s off. I won't put a hook on the back. I'll put a 4 in the front.
Okay.
And then I'll just wind him around.
You
probably could put a 3 on it, but then you put too big of a hook, it mess up the action on it. So I was doing that, knocking them stumps with a small trap.
Is it because that trap, like
it hits it nose first?
So that's why it hangs up on the back.
And that's why it hangs up on the back, because it rolls over and then that back hook grabs, boom.
Okay.
But if you ain't got no back hook on there, when it rolls over, you just keep on rolling.
Was it too shallow for like a square bill or something?
It was too shallow for a square bill because you have to hold your rod tip up real like that. But you could have threw like a 1-. You know, I thought that up.
You like that guy.
Hey, that's a sneaker. I don't even know if I want to put that in the video.
Don't talk about him.
Hey, so I was doing that pre-spawn. They were getting up there sliding, ready to spawn, and I thought that I was going to really, really crush them. Had a very similar situation that happened to me. I fished through my area really quick that morning. It was super cold. I didn't get a bite. So I'm like, dang. I had some flip bites in the back of the river, so I'm going to go in there, a little deeper water, I'll flip around. Well, score tracker going off. Boom, 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 boom. Mark Davis, Mark Davis, Mark Davis, Mark Davis, Mark Davis.
Dang, good for Mark.
I said, dang, Mark smashing. Well, I come out of there. Sure enough, the right there on my waypoints that I blew through that morning really fast, fishing, you know, really, really quick because I wasn't getting bit. Mark Davis sitting right there on the juice, lighting them up. Like you said, sun got up just a little bit, water started getting a little bit warm. Here they go. And so it's just missed opportunity and bad timing. But, you know, it was more or less just running around fan casting a bunch of reaction baits real shallow in pre-spawn areas. And that was the deal for me.
Fast forward to North Carolina, Raleigh.
Dang,
that place?
That's a hammer hole.
That place got them.
Unbelievable.
They got a couple
Falls
bass.
Lake, Jordan, Sharon Harris. Now this was crazy. So we had 2 days of practice on 2 bodies of water. So this made it really tough to decide where you were going to go. Now Falls, the water was down. And it had been up. Jordan the water was up, but it was falling fast. So it made it very difficult. It was dropping nonstop. And so that made it a little bit crazy. I mean, for me, I had a really good event. Jordan, I caught him really good throwing chatterbait and vibrating jig up shallow around the trees. But within a foot a day, Mark, you know, you crushed and caught like what'd you catch, a 9?
8.6.
8.6. And then Faircloth caught a 9.
A 9.4, something like that.
Like,
let me tell you
dodo.
this. Whenever I first showed up at Jordan, and I ain't gonna get way into depth, but I got I first pulled up into Jordan, dude. There's stuff flooded in the trees. There's trees everywhere. It's almost like pulling up at a lily pad field. I hate lily pad fields. I hate it. They look so good, but you fish for an hour and you're like, I ain't had a bite. They suck.
Yeah, too hard to find them.
Low key, they suck. It's too hard to find them. They're not isolated, so everything's flooded. I'm like, oh my gosh. And then finally I said, look, I'm just gonna have to start fishing isolated things, or either find an area and catch whatever's in there.
Right.
We didn't get a lot of bites. What'd you catch? 50 pounds with like 8 or 9
and
fish?
12 fish. Dropped 30
Dropped
for
30
my
and 5,
biggest
yeah.
fight.
With an 8.
With an 8.6.
8.6.
Yep.
So I had 27.
Crushing, bro.
Crushing them. But I mean, that's the thing. It's like but this is the thing. The guy who could generate enough bites.
Yeah.
If you got a bite there,
both of them.
they were pretty nice fish.
Good fish.
They were quality fish.
Yep.
You
It was
had to
about generating
fish
those bites.
that tournament like you would a traditional tournament.
Absolutely, you did. Because you weren't gonna get many bites.
You weren't gonna get many bites. You had to go slow down and go dog your stuff in there and wait for it to go eat.
And when it did, a big one.
What'd y'all finish in that? Two
Long,
top 10s?
long.
So yeah, so that one you'll go into to Sharon Harris. You know, we both made the top 10. You had a good event, made it to the knockout round, got paid. And Sharon Harris was a hot water discharge lake. That place, you know,
That place is dope, too.
obviously you guys have seen it on the videos. That was one that I still to this day it's hard to swallow. Congratulations to Jay Price for catching him, but I was catching him on that frog. I was taking the lead in that second. Didn't make the adjustments that I needed to, but it had a great event. And you know, I definitely was the point in time I was like, man, you know, you know, you missed a couple on a frog, but you know, the water was 59, 60 degrees, and they were crushing it. So you guys seen that?
You took over the lead on the final day. I knew I didn't have a chance to win because we only had like half a period left, and I was in like 4th or something like that. But weight-wise, way out. And you were leading at that time, and you had just caught that 8-pounder. I said, oh man, I said my boy Jay Woods finna get
then
another
went an
one.
hour and a half without a bite.
No, I think I caught like a couple.
Caught a couple small ones, but
like 3 pounders.
Prosnick was
Probably
catching a bunch.
He was smashing.
He was smashed.
He
So,
caught like a 6-pounder too or something.
and he lost a big one too, I heard. I have not watched the live broadcast of that, so I need to go back and watch it eventually, reminisce on that. But, it was a great event in Raleigh. We had a great event there. I definitely was motivated from Conroe. I think we all were. We didn't do well at Conroe, and we all wanted to get back on the right track. We all did at that event, and that was something that,
He was mad.
I was so mad. I know I was
But
mad.
here's
tough,
the deal.
boy.
We could talk about these tournaments all day long and say, oh, we should have done that, should have done that. We're running off of 1 day of practice on each lake.
Yeah.
You're literally making decisions in the tournament, like, I need to go here, I need to go there.
Instincts.
And then hindsight, it's like, man, you think, hey, man, I got lucky. I pulled up in the right stretch. You caught that 8-pounder. I pulled.
Right.
No, it's just one of them deals. You got to fish and figure out the conditions at that time.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It ain't like you had went to Sheridan Harrison made a cast because we couldn't make one.
Yep.
You didn't know they were biting
Yeah.
frog. You
No.
figured it out.
That's
Yeah.
right. Yep.
And that's normally when you figure it out in the derb, that's when you really
when you
smash.
really wreck.
That's when you win.
You mash
when
on
you
the
win.
most current thing that's going on. I think that's something that's huge. We'll sort of go through this stuff. Chickamauga was the next event. We all, I believe, made the cut there. Oh,
I missed.
you missed it.
Y'all-
me and you
y'all
made the
boys
cut.
made it.
Yeah.
No, I
But see,
missed.
you caught a big dodo the first day.
I did catch a big one.
7 yonder.
7-13 on the first day. My first bite.
7
Of the tournament.
Which,
7-13
know-
on a floating worm.
hey,
Floating worm.
What you know
Old
about that?
school.
Old school, baby.
giant one.
I said,
Spinning
ooh.
pole.
Oh, you was big.
We throwing 8 or 10?
I was throwing some 10.
10, yep.
10 pound,
10.
15 pound braid, 10 pound tattoo leader.
Hey,
You see it?
the truth.
Hey,
That's the truth.
yeah, get on this boat.
You guys.
Hey, you just out of FG.
Okay, that's another cool
That's when
story.
you just learned
I
about
just
FG.
learned how to FG.
Was it
And you was
FG on
iffy on it.
Yeah, that was on the FG.
FG knot.
Yeah. Shout out to Adrian Avina because he set up like 2 hours teaching me.
Yeah, because we were all
Teach
staying
me.
He was
house.
at
Yep.
we stayed at
We
Jay
were
Will's
staying
house.
Yep.
Learned how to FG knot. As soon as I set the hook and it locked up, and I said, "Oh my God, FG knot, please hold on."
I hope I
Hey.
tied this right.
Oh yeah, I said, I hope I ain't mess up on this one. Big giant come jumping out the water, got her in, looked at my knot, and said, "Yeah, I'm sold.
Yeah, I'm going to roll with this
I'm
one.
sold on this." Yeah.
So, like, that event, DC and I had.
Man, we were knocking blows there for a little bit.
We did right there, the knockout
so mad
round.
about that.
Making
No.
not making the top 10.
Yeah, because
I know.
here's the
That was
deal.
a
There's
tough
so
one for me,
many
too.
times where I had an opportunity. I know you had several opportunities. Man, it could be the difference between 2 pounds or 5 pounds or whatever. I remember specifically, I caught a 7 yonder. I caught a 7-1.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I caught a 7-1. I caught it flipping a bandito bug on a dock.
Big dodo.
Giant.
Didn't have a clue he was gonna be there. I flipped up there and went doink and just started moving. I said, "Oh, this must be a drum." Because you know me, I was in dead last after the first period. I said, "All right, come on, let's wake on up, catch a few." Pop, pop, pop.
He does, too.
I'm
7
telling you,
yonder.
it's like that every
It's
period.
unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
Anyway, long story short, what'd you finish?
I think I finished like in the teens. I don't know.
Me and you
we
finished
were
right
like,
beside
right
each
beside
other.
each other. Bam, bam, like 14, 15.
And I was
somewhere
down there in the bottom. I was
tournament.
sucking it up.
It was a good tournament.
We went to Smith. We went to
Went to
Smith.
Smith.
Hey,
Why
hey,
are we playing
how you say? Hey, it's not.
Smith.
It's not.
It's not Smith.
Let me.
Lewis
just,
Smith.
let me
It's
just get-
Lewis.
It's Lewis Smith. Let me tell you how you spell it. Okay. SMIFF.
Smith.
Just for clarification.
Smith.
Up that day. We talked about that
Yeah,
last night.
we was laughing about
Mark
that.
pulled up. He said, "Oh man,
Oh
it's good to
my
be
God.
back." What's up, Smith Lake? He said,
Oh
"Oh,
my
so
God.
Smith turned out good."
Yeah, Smith.
You made a
Smith.
cut.
No, you missed the cut there, barely.
That was the one I missed by 2 ounces. 41st.
I remember that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
hurt. That
So
hurt.
then I might as well missed the cut because I didn't catch nothing in
you
the
lost a
knockout
couple
round.
dodos.
I won.
No, I didn't.
What
No,
was
you
that-
lost some.
What was that like your first time doing that? Like when you were right there on the line? Was that like?
Oh, hey. So,
Yeah, that was something.
Boy, okay, this format already stressful as it is, right?
It is.
Dinging all the time, score tracker update, blah, blah, blah. You in this place, you in that place. I was fighting to get inside the cut all day. I'm like 38th. Nope, now you're 39th. No, you're 42. Now you're 40. Now you're 36. And in the last 5 minutes, Jeff Crete, I'll never forget this. Not even 5 minutes, minute and a half.
You were like, you were 23rd,
It was-
you were 21st, 22nd. Yeah, you were 21st, 22nd, right? Like a lot. Like moving up like in
Yeah, I was
elimination.
saying 38. I'm sorry. It was from like 18th to 22nd.
Yeah, you were like bouncing back and forth. I remember seeing this. I'm
Top
like,
20,
oh, it's
move
over.
on. Yeah. That's what it was. And then with a minute and a half to go, Jeff Creek catches one, puts him 2 ounces ahead of me, and I got 3 minutes to fish. I'm fishing my tail off, and I never catch another one. And I missed a cut by 2 ounces, and I caught probably 15 ounces that day. youncers.
That hurts.
15 youncers.
That's freaking crazy. That is.
Yeah,
I mean,
that was stress, bro.
and that's something that, like, you were in that position. You were on the other side of that position in Table Rock the first time we went to Table Rock too, though.
I was.
Like you went the opposite side. I've done this in the Cup, so I know how it feels. But like, explain to the viewers out there that you're on the line, you make the cut, and what your feelings that when,
so
when that
it's
happens. Dude, it's unfreaking.
It's unreal. It's you go from the lowest of the lows to the highest of the highs in a snap of a finger. Once you get that official update from your boat official, and then I knew for sure when I seen Rob Newell pull up to me,
and you were
with
solid.
the camera.
Yeah.
I knew I was solid then. I was in.
You were in.
I was in. I guess 20th.
Yeah, I think you were in like 19th, and then he kept dropping. And I'm like,
Yeah, I was dropping.
Connell and I already
Oh
made the
my
cut.
God.
And we're like,
gosh, come
no,
on.
yeah, Connell was still fishing. I wasn't fishing that day. I don't think. Anyway, so it was like super close.
Bro, listen.
Yeah, that was
that'd
fun.
give a
Blood
man
pressure
gray
through the
hairs
roof.
But
right
my
now.
man made it.
But we made it.
All right, so this is what we're gonna do.
that's
You know,
all we
we
need to do.
we wanted to recap, you know, the first few events. We're not gonna run through all the events, but I want to definitely highlight, you know, if you had one moment throughout the year, one moment that, you know, didn't go for you, it was a high or a low of the year. If there was something like, hey, look, here was your highest moment of the whole year. In your opinion, from the Bass Pro Tour this year, what was that? If you had one.
Go ahead, DC.
All right, so mine, I'll tell you all mine because I asked a question. Mine was obviously Table Rock, second time. You know, I had a lot of close calls. Hit the bell, hit the ding, $100,000 ding.
That boy got a
Take it to the
ding.
bank.
That was
Deposit my stuff.
That's the highlight for sure. Bro.
that was the highlight from obviously
Yeah,
mine.
man.
You can't, you know, I mean, be one of the 8 guys to,
Hey, you
to
better
hoist
be
one of
glad
those
I didn't
BPT
find
programs.
that.
the first year though, too.
Made some top 10s. We all made the top 10 at that point in time.
Yeah.
And for one of us to get a W, I was like, man, we got it done.
We
you know,
got
we caught the bag.
It was good for everybody. This
Oh,
year.
yeah.
hey,
It was.
Would you make 4 top 10?
Yeah, for you.
Made some cups.
I made 2 cups, only had 1 top 10, but I had
that's
a
really
great
good.
year
Had a
though.
good year,
Yeah,
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 right.
no.
We're actually about to go fish a cup here soon.
Yeah, we
There
are.
we are.
We are.
Next week.
So what do
About
you,
to go down.
your highest moment throughout the year? If you
I
had
would
one.
have to say, man, I'm gonna take it back. I mean, yeah, of course, I finished 4th to you in Table Rock. We caught a ton of fish, by the way. Oh my gosh,
Just
Yeah,
ding,
that was crushing,
I
bro.
had like
Unbelievable.
86 pounds on day 1. I was catching his leftovers. It was unbelievable. Anyway, long story short, other than that, other than Table Rock, I would have to say catching that 9-pounder, that one fish. Just, it was so fun.
Yeah.
Reeling in one that big, because that's the biggest one I've ever caught in a tournament. 9-4.
That's a giant.
She come up, I swear I thought I hooked one in manatees. I said, man, that thing's porpoising out there.
I got a dolphin.
Hey, look, I got a
what is
manatee.
it? I got a
This
manatee.
something gonna come up. I said, this ain't a bass. Finally, if you look on a video, there's actually a video on YouTube you can watch. I'm sitting there looking, making sure it's a bass. It's a bass.
It's a bass.
You, Marshall, official, get out of my way. Whoosh, and then I freaked out. 9 pound, 4 ounces.
It's a
That's
giant, bro.
unbelievable.
So not all MLF tournaments, you got to catch small ones. And I got a feeling next year,
Oh,
we're going to catch some
That's some
bigs.
bigs, bro.
some bigs.
I do too.
Marky.
Man, my highlight, I'll tell you, it was really cool. The last regular season BP Tour event was in Wisconsin, Lake Winnebago. I absolutely had to catch him in that tournament, make Red Crest, because I was outside of the crest at the time. I was in 36th place. I needed a decent finish there to get inside the top 30. So of the 80 anglers that fished the Bass Pro Tour, only 30 move on to our championship. And I was in 36 going into that tournament. And that feeling on the 3rd day in the knockout round, after I made it through, pulled up on this one stretch and I had a flurry and I went from 28th place on my new square bill, by the way, SB57. It's all documented. I got it on YouTube, on my YouTube channel. Check it out. I had a flurry that put me from 28th place all the way to 12th. And
I remember that. I remember that. I was like, what?
I was dinging. Now, unbeknownst to me at the time, I didn't know this because I got the official call from the folks at headquarters in Tulsa. I had to have a 20th place finish in order to make Red Crest. I didn't know that. I figured if I had like a 25th or
Yeah,
something
you thought
like
you were
that,
gonna be good.
I thought I'd be
needed
good.
a 20th.
I needed a 20th, but that flurry bumped me up to 12th place, obviously made the championship, and at the end of the day, that's a feather in all of our caps.
Yeah.
When you
When
know
you
you're going
won
to the
the
championship.
30?
When you won to the 30.
I mean, there's no doubt. That was
So that was it for me. Yeah.
So end of the year, we go to Red Crest. You actually had a crazy moment. You know, we got to talk about this. You know, I think DC and I had an okay event. We didn't make the cut, but Mark was on the back. He was battling to make the top 10 there. You know, Mark gets down to the last period in qualifying for the championship round. and he's right there. I remember I'm watching
It's
because
super close.
Tell me a little bit of what went down at the Red Crest. No, there was something that went down.
I did lose a smallmouth too, much earlier in the day. No, it was like a 2-pounder. Only smallmouth bite I had all week. It was weird. Behind the dock on chatterbait. It was the weirdest thing. He jumped, come off, and I was like, whatever. You know, so much more time to fish. Fast forward, last 15 minutes of the day, I'm like a pound and a half out of making top 10 at the Red Crest. Okay, really big deal. I hook up, old school topwater bait. I lock up. I got him coming to the boat. I decided to boat flip him. When I did, I boat flipped him a little bit wide, and it kind of went near my boat official, but not too close to where, you know, it should have made him uncomfortable, but it swung towards him. Well, he decides to put his hand out like this, I think, to stop the fish from hitting him. And when he did that, that fish went, as they always do, and it went boop, ST36, right in the finger. And I'm sitting there like, oh my God. ST36.
That's a big one.
ST36.
56.
No, it wasn't a 56, thank
56
God.
mean.
Yeah, he is. We wouldn't have got that out.
Yeah, I had the 56 right there. My stuff's
You still hurting your legs?
Yeah, a little bitty dog. This whole piece is still
Hey,
gone.
that 56 ain't no joke.
So that's it, guys. You know, we had an unbelievable year. We all made the Red Crest. You know, we all had great finishes, and ultimately, we appreciate you guys day in and day out for following us. We couldn't do this without you. But
doubt.
final thoughts on Major League Fishing. Been through the full year. What are your thoughts on some things? I know there's some positive things out there, some negative comments out there. We want to talk about that stuff, you know, in a later video. But we want to sort of, you know, what's your thoughts, DC, after a full year on the Bass Pro Tour? You know, what do you think?
I think it's a great deal, man. I think the tournament scene. I think the format. I love the way the officials. All them guys are super professional. Everything is run slick and smooth, and they really care about us, and we really get treated, you know, important. And I just feel like it's on the right track. That's what I really feel like. Especially, you know, I can go on to other subjects. You know, conservation side is good and everything, but as far as the organization and us fishing the first year, A+.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think they were put behind the 8 ball. I mean, with them throwing these events out as quickly as they did, you know, I think a lot of the anglers are wanting, you know, we're pushing to get some awesome lakes to go to next year. I think they're going to really have some great fisheries. I think we're all looking forward to that. There's some things that we definitely have to work on. There's no doubt about that. And we will be the first ones to admit that. But the thing is, the best thing about this whole deal, okay, is it's angler driven. We have the opportunity to ultimately make decisions.
Yeah.
And we vote on things if things aren't right and we don't like it as a group of anglers.
There's been a lot of times this year we was in the meeting talking about things. How can we improve stuff? Blah blah blah. Well, let's vote on it.
Yeah.
Show of hands. Let's go.
We started the year off. A lot of people don't know this. This is a little behind the scenes intel. We had entry fees at the beginning. When we left in October, we had that short amount of time to decide what we were going to do. We made that decision based on entry fees. We were paying them during that time. But then the 80 of us came together after that and decided that it would be much better for us as a group and the way the league looks and is perceived to have no entry fees.
Yeah, how can you be a professional? How can you be a professional sport by paying entry fees?
Here's the deal. It wasn't, and we always say personal agenda all the time. It wasn't a personal. I don't want to pay the good fish.
No.
It wasn't that.
Right. It wasn't at all.
It was the perception of living the professional dream that every 12 and 15-year-old wants to go and do, and it honestly gives that person a chance to go do it.
Absolutely.
If you're not as fortunate, I mean, I'll go ahead and speak out
That's
there.
exactly.
If
that's
I'm
really
not,
interesting.
I wasn't very fortunate at all when I qualified for the Elite Series to have a lot of sponsors. But for that 15-year-old and that 20-year-old that's trying to fish and qualify, whenever he makes it, he made it.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Whenever he makes it, he don't go into $50,000 of debt and hope he cuts a check.
That's the big deal.
That's the key. That's the
big
image
deal.
that we wanted.
It was not about that decision was not about us. It was about the future of bass fishing and other anglers. Like you said, like you jump in regular tournaments and you're paying these entry fees. It's $100,000 in expenses. Now, you know,
It's simple.
It might be 30.
It didn't work unless you won.
Exactly, like gives people more opportunity on that side of things. So anyway, I feel like they're on the right track. I feel like
There's no doubt.
everybody there. And they're not forcing this on anybody. This is the thing. All I ask is whether you're a fan of Major League Fishing or you're not. You're a fan of us. We truly appreciate that. Is give it a chance. If you ever fish this format, there's so many different things. There's so many positives. Yeah. And I feel like there's so much negativity because people feel like
they don't know
we're trying to force people to do this. I mean, we're going to hit this on another video, but we appreciate you guys. We truly do. DC, MDJ. I'm like DC, MDJ,
right.
J Wheels. We out. We'll see you guys next time.
Peace.